Well, you know, sometimes you have to set the record straight. Sometimes you have to stand up and say enough is enough. Right now, I've had enough of AM Joy, Joy Reid, the MSNBC weekend hostess, a chatty Cathy who's more than willing to show how little she knows about guns, the NRA, and middle America. Just watch this, miss.
Let's play this video. This is E2 from my reporters. That was the one that really got to me that morning. Take a look.
Joy Reid, you can go stick it. We are on to you, and we will be watching. Every time you lay out a ridiculous tweet like that, I will be calling you out. You can bet on it.
Tell them, please, how you feel about you have to deal with the reality of rape and how you don't want to be disarmed dealing with it.
Rape is a real thing. Being mugged is a real thing.
I mean, you know, Mike, for me, when an organization that's all about guns starts tweeting out, we're watching you, I take that as a threat, honestly. Maybe it was because they had already done the hourglass thing.
Let me tell you something, Joy Reid. Once again, I will say you can go stick it. Because you know the fact is that I am not offering any kind of a violent threat towards you. I don't need to do that. What I am offering, though, is a threat that I will be watching, and I will be fisking you, F-I-S-K-I-N-G, fisking you. I will be ripping apart every lie that you want to perpetrate on America. I'm tired of it. The American people are tired of it. So if that's a threat to you, then take it as a threat. Because we are watching and we are fed up. It's not a violent threat. It's a threat about the truth and words. So let's look at some of the tweets you've posted, Joy. Threats of hate, all aimed at NRA members, okay? First up, the tweet I was talking about in the video that you just played. Quote, worth noting that if the NRA had its way, that student who shot 2 people at his Maryland school would have had access to an AR-15, not just a handgun. Imagine how much more carnage could have been unleashed and the disadvantage that SRO would have been at. All that, you know, is disingenuous. I've gone through it already before, and it's ridiculous. What you are doing is trying to besmirch every gun-owning American there is out there. Law-abiding. It is not going to work. Next tweet. That is the way the NRA, that is why the NRA is so afraid of the Never Again kids. They represent a massive youth demographic that will be permanently off limits to gun sellers. They'll never hoard firearms or do war games in the woods like the GOP. The NRA is on a cultural outside looking in. She gets it completely flipped. She is the one that is on the cultural outside looking in. Americans love their guns. Law-abiding Americans use them. She talks about us being afraid of the Never Again kids. We're not afraid of the Never Again kids. In fact, we applaud their passion. I will tell you that I think they are misguided. And who's misguiding them, Joy Reid? You. And the rest of the gun-hating adults out there are misguiding these kids. And by the way, using them and exploiting them for your own stupid political gain. And oh yeah, there is one more little number for you. Check out this. The NRA is soaked and bathed in blood. How do its adherents sleep at night? I take that as a threat. That's got to be a threat, right? That we're covered in blood. She's saying that she's going to cover us in blood. You see how ridiculous she is? Joy Reid, that tweet is out of line. I'm covered in blood. My buddy Dan Bongino is covered in blood. Every member of the nearly 6 million members of the NRA, we're covered in blood. When we're miles away from these tragic, and I'm not even calling them tragic, these heinous crimes that occur, okay? Tragic to me sometimes seems like it's some kind of a mistake or mishap. This is a crime that was committed in Parkland specifically. We don't have blood on our hands. All we want to do is keep kids safe. You know that, but you're playing politics with all this, and you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Yes, so here's the threat. We're watching, and every time you do this, we'll be calling it out on this program. Stop misrepresenting the good men and women of the NRA. That is the bottom line, Joy Reid.